Hi guys, Ajadanku here, back with another video. Today we'll be checking out a pregnant gay man, like a pregnant gay couple. This is crazy guys, let's check it out.
So I have been in the hospital since about 1:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Baby and I are being monitored. All is well.
This man is preparing to give birth in one of the least LGBTQ plus friendly states in the U.S.
Pregnant women are celebrated. Trans people are not.
Georgia has sodomy laws, HIV/AIDS criminalization laws, and no statewide policies preventing insurance exclusions for trans health care.
There are only two genders, male and female. Man, short thing.
It also has one of the most visible anti-trans politicians and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. That means this family...
You can imagine seeing a pregnant man walking down the street of Lagos or Abuja. Like, it's crazy. You will get stared down. People will be looking at you like, what the fuck? Like, is this for real? Is this real? Like, are we dreaming? Like, what's going on? Like, in Africa, we are not used to stuff like this. It's really crazy. The West is really crazy. I wonder what is really going on there. Like, I think raising up kids over there in the West, like, is really fucked up. Sorry, guys, but it's really fucked up because things are changing. The way the world we used to know is fast changing in the West. Like, it's scary. Like, when I was little, there was nothing like transgender, there was nothing like queer people and all those things. It's not like gays didn't exist back then, but they weren't a thing. Like, it's crazy. Like, just seeing that guy walking on the street, walking his dog on the street with a protruded tummy, like, it's really crazy. I can't imagine seeing it here in Nigeria. Like, oh, people will be like, guy, what's the happen? Like, what's this? Like, who is this? Is this for real? Like, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy.
And this family?
For a while, it looked like we were just a regular old hetero couple.
And this family are all navigating building households in a state where some of their government officials say things like,
no to biological males in women's sports. No to biological males in women's shelters, locker rooms, and showers. And no to transgender medical treatments for children, which is child abuse.
So in a place where politicians filed 7 anti-LGBTQ plus bills during the 2021...
how what was previously accepted by society is now being frowned at. No to men in women's toilets. No to men in women's sports and all these things. But now you're saying, okay, let transgender people be in women's toilet and in women's sports. Technically, transgender women are still men. Like, I don't consider them to be a woman. Don't cancel me, please. But personally, that's just my opinion. I don't consider them to be a woman. As long as I can't take them to my mother in the village, I can't take them to my mother in the village. I'm like, Mama, I'm here with my wife. Here is she. And my mom will be like, okay, my daughter, welcome. Like, if my mom should find out she's a trans, I'm dead. I'm dead. Like, she'll kill me. It's not possible. And besides, my mom will be expecting her to give her grandkids. But trans women can't give you grandkids now. So it's crazy. I don't understand this thing. Like, it's crazy.
2022 season. What is it like for trans residents trying to conceive, birth, and parent in the Peach State?
You know, I think we're scared about what the future holds because we're transitioning in Georgia.
The more they attack, the more visible I've become.
I'm in zip code 30334 in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the state capitol, a place that's been fertile ground for anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. This local news interview with the governor shows the tone.
I've been very concerned about things that we've seen here and around the country when it comes to fairness in girls' sports, making sure our kids aren't indoctrinated in the classroom.
In early March, state Republicans tried to birth a Don't Say Gay law, but Georgians successfully fought against it. A month later, the GOP pushed through a transgender sports ban. What's important about this space is
Georgia is really going hard on trying to create an equilibrium whereby men will compete in men's space, women will compete in women's space, and men won't be encroaching in women's space with the disguise of being transgender. Like, they are really going hard on it. But some people might say they are transphobic or homophobic and all that. I don't know, but they are just trying to stick to the status quo. And you might think that, okay, they are not being liberal, they are not being open-minded, but what does it mean to be liberal and open-minded and forget the natural standard, the natural rules of life? Like, this is how we are as humans. Even animals too are like this, male and female. I don't really understand where us as humans are going to. Like, we are going extreme. Like, it's like we don't know where to draw the line, we don't know where to draw the boundaries anymore. We are going beyond, they're pushing everything beyond the boundaries, beyond the limits, and it's going to affect us as humans. It's going to affect the society. We won't even know what is right from what is wrong anymore. It's crazy.
what happens here defines the framework for how trans people are able to live, love, and grow in the state.
So, look! Our baby is much bigger than last time. It's so much bigger!
Jamel Ware and his fiancé Alfonso Mills are a queer couple eagerly awaiting the birth of their first child. Jamel, a trans man, is carrying the baby they conceived without any aid.
This guy is a woman, not a man, because no man can ever get pregnant. Like, no man can ever. This is a woman, not a man. Like, this is fraud. This is scam. This guy is not a man. He's a woman. Because I've never seen a man, like a biological man, get pregnant in my entire life. It can't happen. So this is a woman in disguise, not a man.
What's it like being pregnant as a man?
It was very emotional. It was very physically challenging. I mean, even the process of getting pregnant was uncomfortable. Having to ovulate and menstruate, that brought a lot of dysphoria to me. And it also made me more comfortable with my body.
Jamel was assigned female at birth and at 22 transitioned to male. He can still use his body to conceive and carry a baby.
What did that feel like for you to have to stop taking testosterone?
It felt like I was losing a part of me. It felt like a big sacrifice. Like I was sacrificing my identity to bring forth our family.
They just went and checked his cervix for the first time, and he's already 3 centimeters dilated, 80% effaced. They were so impressed. He is doing such a great job.
Georgia is a part of the Bible Belt and struggles with dealing with homophobia, transphobia, struggles with talking about sex, struggles with racism. All of those things play a part into what it's like to live your authentic self.
There needs to be a clear boundary between what you believe at home and how you treat your patients.
Jamel having to go into the hospital and having to have an F on his band because the medical system hasn't upgraded to be able to take care of trans people the way that trans people deserve to be treated.
Jamel and Alfonso hired an affirming doula and say much of their medical care was supportive. Atlanta is considered a queer haven, especially for Black people in this conservative region.
Outside of Atlanta.
Yes, I agree that as professionals, as doctors, you need to leave your beliefs, leave your bias at home whenever you are in the field, whenever you are at work, because your beliefs and your bias can come in contrast with what you meet at your workplace. For example, with regards to this transgender man now, like that goes to the hospital and the doctor might be looking at him strange and all that. Yeah, I accept that as professionals, as doctor, you need to leave your bias and your belief at home when going to work. Like, it's normal.
And as a trans man, as a black trans man, I don't find Georgia to be very safe.
Jamel also felt anger and anxiety during his pregnancy.
If I'm a man who is menstruating, does that make me a man? It made me question my identity.
You're not a man. A man doesn't menstruate. Like, a man doesn't menstruate.
How does the world now see me? How will they see me? Will they understand who I am? Pregnant women are celebrated. Trans people are not. And to be a pregnant trans man just made me feel vulnerable in the world.
So we are 9 centimeters dilated. Well, not we, Jamel. Because he's been doing all the hard work.
Jamel and Alfonso's baby wasn't due for 6 more weeks, but little C. Cannon debuted at 34 weeks because his dad had preeclampsia. He still hasn't made it home yet, but his parents are ready for him.
First, I wanted to have the rainbow, nothing too big.
I wonder what type of environments these people are going to bring this child up in a two-father family, two-father environment. That means the child will be deprived of having a mother. As in, it's really confusing. I don't understand. Like, the family settings is fast changing. It's really changing, and it's scary. It's different from what we are used to. We are used to a man and a woman with kids as family, but now these days with the trans movement and all this LGBTQ and all that, we are seeing 2 women as parents and 2 men as parents, like 2 men as parents, like trans men or trans women. Like, it's crazy. Kids don't even know what is in the next generation of kids won't even know what it's like to be in an ideal family settings, especially those that are raised up in a gay couple family. Like, it's crazy.
But just letting them know that we are a very prideful family so that C can feel pride in who we are and how we present.
Despite Jamel and Alfonso's inclusive household, C. Cannon's birth certificate has misgendered his birthing parent. It lists Jamel as his mother.
How worried are you all to be raising C in Georgia right now?
So I recognize that there is a lot of policies and things being introduced in government that are going to make it really hard. Yes, that is a concern because we want to be able to raise C in a place where C is going to be affirmed and is not going to have to worry about teachers or people picking at him. But also, I thoroughly believe
definitely going to worry about people picking on him. Like, I'm not saying it's right for them to pick on him, but it will definitely happen because they are the exception in the society. So these things will happen. They just have to look for ways to deal with it until people come to terms with all these things and people accept it generally. And that's when everything will be normalized. That's when they won't get picked on and all. But as long as they are still the minorities and people are not used to it, and it is not like it is what is generally acceptable or what everyone are used to while growing up, like, there will be drawback, there will be lashback on them.
that we have the opportunity to be strong advocates for what it means to have a family that is LGBTQ.
Would you ever leave?
I've never been happier in a city.
We got our passports though.
We do have our passports, and our child will have his passport as soon as we can get a passport. So if we have to, we definitely would.
That's it, guys. I mean, I'm not transphobic or homophobic, but the thing is, it's not easy for people to adjust to things that they were not used to, the things that they were not exposed to growing up. So it's not just easy for you to just bring it at them and you just expect them to accept it and embrace it immediately. No, even if they are to accept or embrace it, it will take time. Over time, it will grow on them. It's not something that you just bring on them like boom and you just expect them to take it, because this is something they are not used to. This is something that they don't know. They are used to something else. They know something else. So even if the world in general to accept this, it will be gradual. It won't be immediate. I think maybe this is kind of like the early stage of all these things, of this type of alternative style of living, the early stage. Over the years, if they persist, if they continue pushing, the world is going to, whether the world like it or not, they're going to accept them, because hey, they have a choice to live their life the way they want to, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So, but if they persist, continue pushing, then it will get to a time they'll be accepted, just the way premarital sex was greatly frowned at in the past. But now it's generally accepted. Like, it's not really spoken of, but people know and people do it on the side. Like, people are aware of it. So that's just how it is. So they just have to keep on doing their thing, man. Like, that's their life. Okay, guys, that's the reaction for this video. If you like this video, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and support my channel. Help me get to 100 subscribers. It's just a small milestone, and with your help, I know I can get there. Like, see you in the next one, guys.
Come on,